So, so when we write new SCL, so overall memory for SCL class is allocated in heap, and address of that memory goes to your object. So what is object? It's a pointer to a class. It holds the class memory address, right? And by this pointer, we can access the element of the class. So we should not forget when we write a class, so compiler internally inject the base class of this class is called object. We should not forget. So whenever we write a class in Java and C#, so compiler internally inject the base class for your class is called object. And this class is providing a low-level service to your class. Like this class is having internally function called finalize. This class is having a function called member-wise clone. Member-wise clone. So whenever you write a class in Java and C#, and when you compile the class, so compiler will internally inject the base class for your class is called object. And object class is having two major functions. One is called finalize, which act as a garbage collection, right? But you can't override this method even though it's a virtual function. So finalize function, even though marked as a virtual, you can't override. And member-wise clone is basically for cloning. Now, don't forget, so compiler internally inject the base class for your class is object. Now, when you write SCL space Vinod equal to new SCL, so memory for class is allocated in heap, and address of that memory goes to the pointer is called object. And by this object, you can access the elements of a class. Now within a class, we can have the 5 kinds of variable. That's our agenda today, the 5 kinds of variable. And whenever you allocate a memory for a class, compiler internally called the default constructor. Every class is associated to default constructor. Every class is associated to default constructor. When you write a new operator, look at a signature. Look at this signature. Look at SCL opening closing. So compiler internally inject for your class is called default constructor. Okay. So we should not forget when you compile the program, so compiler internally inject your base class called object, right? And compiler internally inject the constructor called default constructor to your class. We can look at the syntax, SCL opening closing. So what is the role of constructor? Why do we have a constructor? What is the role of constructor, Sandeep? Why do we have a constructor? And overall explain the meaning of constructor. Understand better, why do we have a constructor? One thing is quite there when you write this statement, compiler internally inject for your class the default constructor. Because look at the signature. And you can provide your own constructor. So what is constructor? So constructor is basically a special kind of function. Constructor is basically a special kind of constructor. It's a special kind of function. It is primarily meant for initializing the instance variable as well as instance read-only variable. Okay. So class can have 5 kinds of variable. Class can have 5 kinds of variable. The instance variable, instance read-only variable, instance is read, I'm writing short, instance read-only variable, static variable, static read-only variable, static read-only variable, and last is constant variable. And question is, what is constructor? The day if you able to make your own definition, no one can stop you. The day. So make your own definition, right? So what is constructor? Give your answer. You have years of experience. So answer comes by the experience, right? So one role of constructor is, it is primarily meant for initializing the instance variable as well as instance read-only variable. And instance read-only variable can only initialize by the constructor. Okay. So constructor is primarily mainly meant for initializing the instance read-only variable. So instance read-only variable is a one-time initialization for the same object. So instance read-only variable is a runtime constant for the same object. And when you write a bnode, it's an object, it is a pointer to a class, and associated with the new operator, so constructor will be called. So constructor will be called only one time for the same object. Constructor will be called only one time for the same object. And the constructor can initialize the instance variable as well as instance read-only variable. But instance read-only variable can only initialize by the constructor. There is no other way we can initialize the instance read-only variable without the constructor. Okay. And what is instance read-only variable, Sandeep? Instance read-only variable is a kind of variable, is a runtime constant for that particular object. It's a runtime constant. It's a runtime constant for that object. Okay. So first definition, what is constructor? Constructor will be allocate, will be execute, will be triggered when you write a new operator given for your class. Then constructor will be called. Second point, constructor is majorly meant for initializing the instance read-only variable, and as well as others variable is called instance variable. Okay. Third rule, Sandeep, constructor can be overloaded. It's a special kind of function. It can be overloaded. It can be overloaded. And if there is a overloading, it supports a static polymorphism or compile time polymorphism. The constructor can overload it. So if there is a overloading, it supports compile time polymorphism as well as static polymorphism. Same thing. So I mean, constructor supports compile time polymorphism or static polymorphism. Okay. Sir, constructor never be inherited. Constructor does not support inheritance. Constructor never supports inheritance. Okay. Constructor does not support inheritance because constructor is pertaining to class, and if once you make a derived class, it will have own constructor for that class. So constructor cannot be inherited. That's a major difference between constructor and function. Function can be inherited, but constructor never be inherited. My date of birth, my father's date of birth, never be same. When he was born, his constructor was called. When I was born, my constructor was called. So there is a difference between two entities as a more than 20 or 25 years. So when he was born, the constructor was called and he sliced the date of birth and his blah, blah, blah. When I was born, my constructor was called my height, my width, my complexion, my date of birth was initialized. So constructor is pertaining to class, not pertaining to any other class. That class will have own constructor. So constructor never be inherited. And if there is no inheritance of constructor, there is no chance of constructor can support virtual or support a runtime polymorphism. Constructor never supports overriding. But there is no inheritance. There is no inheritance. Okay. Okay, so constructor does not support, yes, constructor does not support inheritance. And if there is no inheritance, there is no runtime polymorphism or there is no overriding because constructor never mark as a virtual. Okay. Next point is, apart from this, Sandeep, constructor is primarily meant for initializing the instance variable or as well as others kind of variable called instance variable. Constructor can be parameterized. It supports overloading. If it supports overloading, then it may support static polymorphism. And constructor will be called only one time for the same object. So that's why constructor is meant for initializing mainly the stance read-only variable, right? Constructor never supports inheritance. And if there is no inheritance, there is no overriding. Okay, okay. Besides of any other point? That's very true. That's very true. Constructor will be called by the new operator. So programmer cannot call constructor explicitly by dot operator. That's why constructor never returns a value. I haven't called the constructor. I call my function by the dot operator, right? But constructor will be called by the new operator. So programmer will not have the controlling for calling the constructor explicitly. When you write a new, it will be called. So there is no chance constructor can return the value to the user level, never returns. Okay, okay. As a trigger in database, as a trigger. When you write an insert into, trigger will be called. So I can compare for time being constructor similar to your trigger as an event, as event based. Constructor new, constructor called. Insert into, trigger called. Okay, okay. So programmer will not have controlling for the constructor. When you write a new operator, constructor will be called. So there is no chance constructor can return a value. True, true. But next point is the most important point. Sandeep, I got your point, constructor this, constructor that. Apart from your experience of more than 20 years, what is your observation about constructor? If I design the class and if I don't provide the constructor, what will the impact? If you design the class, if you don't provide the constructor, then if you don't provide a constructor, you can't initialize the instance read-only variable. Okay, I got the most important point. The constructor is primarily meant for initializing the instance read-only variable. And as such, there is no any other technique to initialize the instance variable, instance read-only variable. For this, you go for constructor. True. Apart from, sir, I do write SCL space Binod equal to new SCL. I am writing again SCL space Parsoon is equal to new SCL. New SCL. So now again one more memory for class will be allocated. Again for memory, again memory for SL class is allocated with respect to Parsoon. So ठीक से बोलो. Again memory for SL class will be allocated with respect to Parsoon. Okay, okay, okay. New means I'm getting a separate memory. So whenever you write a new, you're getting a separate memory, and for that memory, you got a constructor. And for this memory, you got a constructor. I got it. Think technically. A part you said, na, constructor cannot be virtual, constructor cannot be inherited, constructor never returns a value, constructor supports overloading, and constructor is mainly meant for initializing the instance read-only variable, because instance read-only variable means a runtime constant for that particular object and constant for everything. So don't for everyone. So don't try to compare instance read-only with a constant. Instance read-only means my employee ID. I joined the NIT technology. I got an employee ID. Same time, Ashish Dhar is working in NIT technology. He's having different employee ID. So he never dared to change his employee ID. I don't. So it's a runtime constant for that particular object. So Ashish Aadhaar card, Ashish employee ID, and Sandeep Karan employee ID or Aadhaar card never be similar as a value. So Sandeep, that's true. Apart from, what is the other use of constructor? Sir, if I say, apart from this, as experience, what is constructor? Sir, if I write SL space Binod equal to new SCL, I just wanted to know at what time an object is made. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know at what time object is constructed. At what time? Can you tell me? If you don't provide a constructor to your class explicitly, if you don't provide the constructor to your class explicitly, I can't maintain the log at what time an object is created. So on the top, include the IO package or IO namespace and go for writing a small line of program. And as soon as when object is constructed, when object is constructed, constructor will be called, I can maintain the log. That's true. That's true. So if someone asks you, what is the major part of constructor? So at what time today, Vinod has entered in premises of the office or person? I just wanted to know. Once he swap, I can maintain his log. Okay, okay. So constructor is meant for maintaining the log of any object. So at what time object is constructed? How do I know? As my date of birth. Besides, constructor does not support runtime, polymorphism. Constructor does not support inheritance. Constructor can be parameterized. Constructor is meant for slicing the instance read-only variable. And besides, you can also go for slicing the instance variable apart from this. So my opinion is, my experience is, if you are designing the class without constructor, means you are not providing the default behavior. If I start it, if I just take a first shot of my car, I should get temperature, I should get kilometer runs, I should get some information in dashboard. I really happy. But the moment if I take a ignition, I'm not getting any kind of things to be sliced, I really feel uncomfort. So if I don't get petrol information sitting in a car, oh my God, it's not a scooter, I can see the petrol. I can open the tank, I can see the petrol. So constructor is majorly meant for providing the default behavior to an object. If you don't provide a default behavior to an object, if you give me your resume, and if you don't mention the data about the resume, how I can make an impression about you, what you have done? Okay, constructor is meant for providing the default behavior to an object. And if I say what is default behavior, if there is a car, default behavior, I just wanted to know number of petrol in a liter, number of liter petrol in your car. I should know. That's most important for me. Okay, so by constructor, we can set a default behavior to an object. Okay, then we can evaluate the characteristics of an object by the properties. Oh yes, I do set a value. When you write a new operator, constructor will be created and we can set a default value for that object. And later on, I wanted to get that value. So for evaluation purpose, oh, if car is having 3 liters of petrol, I can go to Lajpat Nagar. What about Gurgaon? No, yaar. We should have approximately 10 liters petrol to as a to and fro for Gurgaon to Noida. Okay, okay. So we can evaluate later on. We can evaluate, but we should provide a default value to the object. Okay. So, sir, what should I say in an interview if I go for interview? That's very true. What answer you provide there? You say constructor is a special kind of function. It will be called by the new operator. As such, there is no any other way you can initialize or you can call the constructor. So you cannot have the controlling for calling the constructor. If you write a new operator, it's so natural, it calls automatic. As you write an insert into, trigger will be called. There is no any other way to call the trigger if you don't go for DML operations. Okay, okay, okay. And if you don't provide the constructor, how I can have the default behavior of an object? I should have the default behavior. This is the cause I do set some value. I do set some value for having a default behavior. And later on, we can evaluate now the characteristics of that object by the properties or by the somewhere. Fine. So And the most important part is at what time constructor, at what time, because if new is there, object is created. That's very true. If object is made, it means constructor gets fired. That's very true. So the most important part is to say in an interview, apart from instance variable, inheritance, instance read-only variable, constructor returns, constructor overload. My opinion is the best answer of constructor is primarily meant for, constructor is mainly meant for, constructor is mainly meant for at what time an object is constructed. If I don't maintain the log, if I don't maintain the log as arrival time and disposable time. Okay. And this is finalized. This is destructor, sir. This is destructor. This is destructor. This is called destructor. When you write a destructor, tilde sign is syntax for defining a destructor. This is destructor. Can you believe? You have to believe. When you write a tilde with SCL, it's a destructor. When you compile, the compiler inject in your compiled file as a finalize. Okay. So working of finalize, yes. Working of finalize as a destructor. Okay. So when you write a new, I got a memory. And when you quit from the program, and destructor will be called, it will reclaim, it will dispose your object. It means destructor can be virtual. My God. Sir, constructor cannot be virtual. Constructor cannot be override, but destructor can be override. Because when you close the program, then JVM, Java Virtual Machine, and your CLR for .NET, they call destructor internally. Sandeep, please just one second. What you have said, I said, when you write a tilde sign with the class name, this is compiler will maintain the instruction in a compiled file as a finalize. And programmer cannot override this method. Programmer cannot call destructor during the program. Oh my God. Destructor will be never called during the program. Okay. Destructor will not call during the program. Yes. And who will be calling destructor? As soon as when you leave the scope of your class or main, then destructor will be called. And who will call the destructor? JVM or CLR. So JVM and CLR can override the constructor, but you cannot. You cannot. Even though finalize is marked as a virtual. That's an exceptional case if a function marked as a virtual may or may not override. But in case of finalize, gentleman, function marked as a virtual, programmer cannot override because finalize act as a destructor. Idiot. Okay. So destructor can be virtual. Yes. I'm not sure. So you have to be sure. I'm not overconfident, but I have been practice. Okay. Can you prove me? Yeah, open Java editor or open the C# editor, provide destructor, compile the program, look at what compiler is injecting your compiled file. They maintain, sir, finalize as a finalize. Destructor converted into finalize. And finalize is a virtual. But we can't override. Who will override? The runtime environment. Okay. And if you want to explicit, deallocate the memory, then you can go for dispose. That's very true. Don't go there this time, Sandeep. So I'm just doing a comparison between constructor and destructor. Okay. Constructor cannot be virtual, yes. But destructor can be virtual, yes. But destructor, even though marked as a virtual, you can't overwrite. It's an exceptional case, even though destructor marked as a virtual, you can't overwrite. Programmer cannot take controlling of destructor in hand. Can you tell me when you will die? Can you tell me? Who can tell in this world I am going to die within 5 minutes? No one. No one. You can't maintain your log at what time you're going to kill yourself. Okay, okay, okay. You can't override a destructor. So I'm not sure, Sandeep, can you give me proof? Yeah, I'm giving you proof. Open Java editor or open the C# editor, doesn't matter for me. I don't want any ID, come on. So I do write class SCL, okay, and I just write here SCL destructor. And sir, please, you can't provide any kind of access modifier before the destructor. Keep in mind, you're not supposed to define any kind of a scope before the destructor. It's a destructor? Yes. Open Java, open C#. Now take a main, public, static, void main. Write some program in Java. You have got there a compiler called JavaC. Now save this program. I'm moving to F drive. F drive, moving to A folder and saving this file name. I'm supposed vinod.cs. Now, sir, open the command prompt. You open the again command prompt. I'm opening the dotted command prompt, right? Moving to F drive. Moving to CD A folder. I'm checking the file name is called V star. Yes, I'm getting a file at 9 o'clock. Vinod.cs. No. You write JavaC, I'm writing CSC. CSC compiler, C# compiler, space, a file name, vinod.cs. Show me where is destructor, mark as a finalize. I'm showing you. Program is compiled successfully. Now you go for deassembler. You go for deassembler. Same thing in Java, you go for deassembler and go to file. Open, go to F drive and move to A folder and open exe and look at finalize. Where is destructor? Finalize is a destructor. Destructor is a finalize. So show me it's a virtual or not. So look at here, it's a virtual. But you can't overwrite. You cannot take the controlling of destructor in your hand. Who will take? JVM. He will override. When he will override, when you try to lose the scope of your class, and that time it will be called. Not during the program. Not during the program. Okay. Got it. But sir, one also fact there. We say constructor never returns a value. True. He never returns a value to the user label. True. But look at, when I said a definition, constructor is similar to a function. Now tell me, can you write any function in this world, in any language without a return type? Even though void is a type. Can you repeat again? So when we said in a definition, what is constructor? I said constructor is a special kind of function. If I say constructor is a special kind of function, it has to have some return type. So for me, there is no return type, but who has called the constructor? New operator. And who calls new operator? JVM or Cellar? They return to him as a void. So return type of constructor for runtime environment is void. For me, nothing. Can you show me? My father has called to maid servant. My father has called the maid servant. My father has called to maid servant. Now, maid servant will or servant will return to the father, not to me. I'm not sure. Can you show me? Again, you go for DSMler, Java DSMler, or .NET DSMler. So please, Sandeep, give me proof for this. So I'm showing you. IL, it's a DSMler. Open exe file, open, and you go for open same exe, F drive, A, and open exe. Show me where is constructor mark as a virtual. Show me. So look at CTOR. I just said to you, when you write compile the program, so compiler for Java class, compiler for C# class, inject by default base class called object. And compiler internally inject to your class as a default constructor because you have written the new. You have written the new class name and empty. No parameter was parameterless. Something do one thing. Yeah, tell me. So you provide own constructor. Okay, I'm providing. And pass some parameter. Okay, no problem. CL and you pass int. And show me this function return type. Yes, sir. I'm showing you. And don't forget, I have just said, anyone has said, constructor is a special kind of function. When you make a function in database without return type, possible. When you make a procedure in database without return type, possible. If there is a procedure, it has to have some default return type. Now save the program.